Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Let's hop into this. I want to give you guys the feedback. And again, I apologize for the allergies. They're kicking my butt today. Uh, so I asked the team, my team. I said, "Hey, got the group coaching call. Give me some of your best prompts. Give me some of your best feedback." So we're gonna run through this. Amy on my teams, who a lot of you guys probably know, works in the creative department. She said creative wise, definitely all the additions to Canva. So again, if you guys don't have a Canva Pro account, highly recommend you get a Canva Pro account. The automated duplication, translation, and prompting, and then GPT wise, the new ability to organize prompts inside of projects. So I'm gonna probably flip back and forth between some like screen shares so I can show you guys in here. Let me know in the chat real quick while I sneeze. How many of you guys are using ChatGPT on like a weekly basis? Anybody? Let me know in the chat. Anybody using how often are you guys using ChatGPT? Hopefully, it's at least once a week. You should be using it every day. Come on, guys. Give me some feedback here. Here we go. All right. Alan says we are. Raina says Microsoft Copilot. Okay. Interesting. Love it. Every few days, Emily. Oh my gosh. Kristen said I've never used it. All right. Mike Frank says weekly for sure. Bi-weekly. Paige uses Grok. Yeah, Paige, I remember that from our call that you enjoy using Grok on X. And then Jason says daily. Appreciate your guys' feedback on that. So let me show you the prompt here inside of ChatGPT. This is the first one. So Amy was mentioning projects. You guys will see over here. I've got some like some stuff pulled up. You can basically layer projects in new projects, and it allows you to like I'll pull this one up for instance. This is Hunter Head Games. So this is my new book that's dropping, right? And so we were using it to help edit the manuscript. Pretty powerful stuff. And then this allows you, the biggest thing is that it allows you to pull information um, from multiple chats. So for the longest time, you weren't able to do this. It couldn't, like, if you go into a new chat, it couldn't see the other chat. And so I know you're probably right now, you're like, hey, this is a social media company. Why am I talking about AI? I'll get to that in a second. Let me finish my thought on this. With projects now, you can talk in multiple chats and you also can add them in. So, like, if you had a chat that's going, you want to add it to a project, you can right click on it, add it to a project. And so it helps keep things organized. So, what's some use cases for the projects? Let me give you those. One would be financials. So maybe you want to give each month, you want to give ChatGPT your profit and loss, your balance sheet, and your statement of cash flows, and say, hey, based on these, give me an analysis of my financials as if you were a Fortune 500 CEO. Right? There's kind of like a 4-step process to prompting. You have to tell it what you want it to be. Right? It's like you're a copywriter, you're a world class marketer, you're a Fortune 500 CFO. Right? You have to tell it what it is. You have to tell it what you want from it. And then what's really cool is if you tell it how to give you that information. So I could give it the the profit and loss, the balance sheet, the statement of cash flows, and I could say you're a Fortune 500 CEO. You're going to analyze the 3 documents I'm giving you, the 3 financial statements I'm giving you, and from those financial statements, you're going to give me a bulleted point, one pager on how our business is doing so far year to date. Right. And it'll do it. It'll give it to you. Right. So, like, we want to layer all that under a project. So each month when we upload that data, 6 months from now, we can say, hey, what's the trend? Right? We can start asking it trend analysis and things like that. So super cool. That's how you guys can do that. That's layering projects. So I wanted to give that to you guys first. That one's a big one. And so that wraps up Amy's. Let's hop into Amanda's. Amanda said was super excited to see how ChatGPT pulled info from my heading reports and our scorecard to give us a better view of how the team's wins, losses, and contributions fit into our overall goals. And so, if you guys missed last month's coaching call, was killer. I can't remember the lady's name that came on, but we talked in depth about our heading adjustment process. So, in our company, each month we have what's called heading adjustments, and these heading adjustments will basically keep alignment inside of the organization. And so Amanda does a heading adjustment with each team member. And we put an example, I believe we put that in the Facebook group. Nick, if you could drop a link to the Facebook group For anybody that missed last month's call, that'd be cool in the chat there. We gave you guys the document of a heading adjustment as well as an example of one of our scorecards. And so Amanda took the scorecard and all of the heading adjustments and fed it into ChatGPT and basically got feedback from ChatGPT on, you know, how did we align with our goals? What were strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats? It really is a superpower in your guys' business, right? And so earlier I alluded, you're like, hey, this is the social media call, like why I'm in here, right? I thought we were talking about social media and sales. I get it, but it's kind of like, hey, I'm here for dinner. I thought we were going to eat. It's like, yeah, I need you to get outside. The house is on fire, right? It's kind of like it's more important. Um, we are in the midst, not no, we're in the middle. We are in the middle of the third technology revolution for small business owners. Okay, first came access, which was the internet. Access was being able to, get information at your fingertips faster than you were ever able to. You were able to connect with people that you were never able to connect to, right? I remember my first sales coach that I hired in 2009. I found him on YouTube, right? So I found this guy who's a great sales coach, and like I hired him from it, right? And so it gave me access to information, allowed me to skill up and scale up my businesses faster because I had that access to information. So that was the first one, access. If you're taking notes, the second one is attention. So number two is attention. If you're taking notes, write that down. Attention. That's the social media wave that has happened to us. And you guys know I've been running Facebook ads since 2013. Since 2016, we've been working with small business owners. And for the past decade, that has been the wave. But in the past 24 months, AI has happened, artificial intelligence. So that's the third wave of technology that has happened. And what's really coming quick is agents. We won't get into that too much today. I don't have time to talk about it too far. Maybe next month we can talk about AI agents. But the reason why we're shifting and like while we're helping clients with this is because it's always been about helping small businesses, right? Like that's the Coach Carroll mission is to weaponize the next generation of business leaders and their teams. And so I want to weaponize you guys. What's that mean? Give you weapons, give you the training. And so that's why I built Carroll Media, was to put the tech and the training and have a company where I could put people at that could help me build these visions. And we're doing a damn good job of it. I got to give a shout out to my team. Like, I mean, in the last month, I was on vacation and they like rolled out new updates and were building things without me here, right? And so, if you're listening to this right now and you're frustrated by your team or you're aggravated or it's like, oh man, these team members, these terrible employees. Listen, when you point a finger as the business owner, you got three fingers pointing back. Okay. And so you have to understand that company culture is important. You got to build your team. And if you build the people will build the business, right? Dan Martell says that. One of my favorite quotes of his. And so, again, bringing it full circle, why are we talking about AI? It's because for the foreseeable future, this is what should be most important to you. Full stop, right? So, like, Paige is using Grok. Mike Frank's using it weekly, but sure bi-weekly. Cool, Mike. I want to see you getting that thing to every other day at least, right? Kristen never used it. Kristen, your homework this weekend should be spending 5 hours on YouTube just learning about ChatGPT, learning what's possible, right? Emily Jones. Okay, every few days, Emily, let's get it to once a day, right? Microsoft Copilot, Raina, I love that. Expand. How can you use Copilot more? I haven't used a ton of Microsoft Copilot, but I've heard good things about it. I also Gemini. Google Gemini was pretty trash on the first couple iterations. This latest iteration, holy shit, right? So it's like these things will move and shift, and you guys have to keep your head on a swivel and keep your eye on the ball, because if not, it's almost like if you put your head in the sand with social media. And a lot of you guys did for way too long. But online matters. Brand awareness matters. Presence matters. Artificial intelligence matters. These are important things in your business. Watched a video last night from Sam Altman. It was just recorded like a week and a half ago. He did an interview with the founder of TED Talk. You guys watch those? Some of the TED Talks. You guys are fans of those. Sam Altman said, we can have all these conversations about generative AI, artificial intelligence. He said, what's most astounding to me right now is that my children our children, right? Willow will be 2 on Saturday. Willow, my daughter, will not live in a world where there aren't artificial intelligent agents trying to assist her in every facet of life. What we know an iPhone as right now, right? A cell phone number or a cell phone, what you know a cell phone as right now, or as you knew it when you were 16, or your very first, think back to your very first cell phone and how different this new iPhone is compared to, my Nokia that had like the full keyboard, right? Willow will not know a world. This is Sam Altman saying this. Like she will not know a world. Our children will not know a world where there is not an artificial intelligent agent that is trying to help them in every form or fashion. I would even venture to say, I mean, by the end of this decade, quantum computing, and I'll get a little nerdy with you guys for a second. If you don't know what quantum computing is, there's a couple of really good documentaries on YouTube. You can go check them out. IBM, just look up IBM quantum computing and you'll find it. This is going to be a game changer, and a lot of people are saying that artificial intelligence is just kind of the distraction to the quantum computing that's coming. But this is going to be a game changer for you guys. It's going to disrupt businesses, and our mission now is like we want to save 10,000 small businesses from going extinct. Like we don't want you guys to put your head in the sand, and so this is why I'll be talking about this for many months to come, and it's super important. Okay, so I'll get off my soapbox now. We'll get back to some of the prompts. So I told you guys about Amy. Amy's like, hey, you using the stuff inside of Canva, using the GPT to organize prompts inside of projects. Amanda's using it to help with heading reports and scorecards to give us a better view of how the team's wins, losses, and contributions fit into our overall goal. And then Nick said he used it to convert our sales pages into emails, review and summarize long documents, upload call recordings for coaching feedback. So I actually launched this week an internal custom GPT that my team members, we use Fathom. Fathom's in here right now, right? Recording this so that I'll have a summary. But it basically takes the transcript from the call, we feed it back into the GPT, and the GPT then gives my team members real-time coaching. It says, hey, great job, Nick. You did this, and this right on the call. Here's some other things you could have done better, right? One of the things it mentioned, right, he had a support call with a client that, she was kind of hesitant, like, I don't know if I'm doing right on posting content or tagging businesses. And, Nick, if any of you guys have talked to Nick, him and I couldn't be two further personalities apart. But the GPT picked up that, he kind of ended the call and was like, hey, cool, we'll set the next one on back to business, right? And it said, you could have probably left it in a more like uplifting spirit and encouraged the client, like, hey, you're doing a great job. Keep posting content. We'll keep the momentum going on our side, right? So it's like it's coaching him on like not just technical skills, right? Like that would be like 1.0 if somebody's gonna be a sales coach, gonna be a sales trainer for you that you're gonna hire. Maybe you enroll them in a video program where they watch videos. A lot of those are teaching like technical skills, right? Like this is how you bundle stuff. These are word tracks that you use. This thing came in and was coaching him on soft skills. Like here's how to end the call better so that the client feels more warm and fuzzy. And so game changer, right? Going to help us deliver better experiences to our clients. Huge. Here's what Andy, our creative director, said. He said, with basic coding ability, Claude has helped him write a custom WordPress plugin that speeds up and streamlines our process for making insurance websites. So State Farm agents, sorry, you guys can't use these, but farmers agents and Allstate agents, you guys can have standalone websites, and that's what allows us to build these in a week. We use AI. Pretty much everything in our business is AI first at this point. Like we're using AI to get started, and then like the human comes in over the top of it. But this thing automatically pulls in Google reviews. It's got 25 plus customizable short codes. It's going to import Google reviews. I already said that. Display city-specific service areas for search engine optimization, and how handle dynamic styling of icons. So this is using Claude, and if you guys aren't familiar with that one, that's Anthropic's model. They're another big company like OpenAI. So OpenAI owns ChatGPT. Anthropic owns Claude. Claude is really good for coding or doing technical related things. And so Andy, has gotten stuck several times with script writing, not for like movies, but like technical scripts, coding, and he's been able to toss that into Claude and be able to get content pushed back out. That's like, hey, here's the code. I fixed it for you. So pretty powerful. Couple more here. Kevin on our team said he used it to write multiple engaging emails for either cold outreach or past clients, and then is also using it for the call coaching. And then Anne Marie on our team said she used it for some social media caption ideas and writing emails and responses and messages. So we have this feature. We're waiting for the website to update so that everything's out there. You guys probably have noticed some new branding where if you log in, it doesn't say MM4A anymore. It says Allie. So we've moved to that. And we'll be releasing her chat feature hopefully by the end of this month. We just had some tweaks in the knowledge base that we had to fix. And again, the worst thing I think we could do is roll out a product, especially with AI, that's just going to run off the rails and then put a bad taste in your guys' mouth. Because then, like, trying to say, "Oh, hey, we fixed it. It's better now," right? Like Jason, come on back, try it again. Like you're gonna be like, "Nah, I tried it, man. I'm good," right? And so we want to make sure that it's right from the get go. And so I'm pretty excited about that. Anybody in here? I know there was a lot of people, pages using Grok, and I see some of the other people in here. Anybody else want to share how they're using, or like in the last month, maybe a cool prompt or something that you've used an AI platform for? Anybody want to unmute themselves and give us a quick little feedback, or you guys can type it out as well. So we also get questions that get submitted throughout the month. So you pull up some of those questions here as well. Oh, man, these allergies are killing me, man. Anybody else got allergies, bad allergies? Hopefully somebody's just writing a long prompt, like just going to give us a banger of a reason of what they use AI for in the last month, but we'll see. All right, here we go. All right, so looks like we had somebody that submitted and asked, should we post on Facebook more often or Instagram more often? Like that's pretty okay. Well, I'll tackle it anyway. The Facebook more often or Instagram more often. I think it's important to understand that there's two ways to do content. When you're making content, you can execute really fast and be lazy, or you can execute and then like put the time in that it takes. What do I mean by that? My team, we kind of execute and then we're lazy. So we do these coaching calls. We take by, Tuesday, I did a full day worth of podcasting. It was 7 or 8 episodes. Actually had Allie set in on one of the episodes, which was pretty cool. Like had a conversation with her. Some pretty cool stuff we got coming down the pipeline. But when you make the content, right, then my team takes it and chops it up into shorts. So if you guys are following me on Instagram, Facebook, you'll see these videos. Where we get a little lazy is when we cross pollinate to other platforms and we're not necessarily putting it in the format of the platform. What do I mean by that? On Instagram, a vertical video, like a reel, cool. YouTube shorts, vertical video, cool. Maybe a Facebook reel, cool. Uh, but that's kind of where we stopped, right? We go to LinkedIn, we go to Twitter, wherever. It's just always the same, like vertical formatted short form video. The next iteration of that would be to like use ChatGPT on a transcript and say, hey, write me out a long format post for LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn, like writing actually is better over there than anything. My videos get the least amount of views on LinkedIn as they do on any other platform, right? It just doesn't over index for video. It's not a video heavy platform. They want thought leaders and experts to be writing content and topics. And so really like we could do a better job of doing that, right? Same thing for long format video, right? Like Instagram doesn't really like long format video, but Facebook does. And so I could probably take like longer 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 11 minutes, full length, hour long podcast. We could probably take those and upload those to Facebook, right? And so like now the question is like, well, why don't you do that? One, it's manpower, right? It takes a lot of time, effort, and energy to make the content and to get it posted. That's why a lot of our clients hire us to do it all for them so they don't have to mess with it. But the other piece of it too is like strategy, right? Setting down and making sure that your strategy is mapped out. Right now, my team does a pretty good damn job of just getting the content long format, chopped into short format, captions written, posted every single day. You will not find Monday through Friday, you will not find one of my platforms that doesn't get posted on, right? Super important to us. And also just think that we need to be walking the walk. If we're going to tell you guys that you need to have social media presence, you need to be putting out content, like you need to be seeing Coach Carroll do the same thing, right? I've often said for many years that social media marketing, advertising marketing, sales in general, it's like Frosted Flakes, right? Sugar coated corn cereal, and then Tony the Tiger tells you they're great. And so that's where I come in. That's what I tell the team all the time. It's like, we're really just doing marketing, advertising, but Coach Carroll has to kind of lay out the strategy and give it to you guys. And so, hopefully that helps. Should you be posting more one or the other? Depends on your business, right? If you're a skateboard shop, probably should be on Instagram more, right? If you're a suntan city, probably should be on Instagram more. If you're a plumber, an insurance agency, probably should be on Facebook more, right? Your target demographic is going to be a little older. Now, that's not to say to neglect one over the other. Okay, I don't want anybody to misconstrue what I just said. I'm not saying neglect one over the other. I'm saying where should we post more? You should be posting the most where your clients are at. If you do B2B, right? If you're, maybe I just had a Mailing Marin on. She's on President's Council for Farmers, Farmers Insurance. She's one of the top agents out in California. You know, when the California when the California close down happened, which was like basically all the big insurance companies were like, no home, no auto, we're not writing it because they couldn't get their increases passed. Mailing shifted, so she went all in on writing business insurance. Well, if she's writing business insurance, she may want to lean more into a LinkedIn style content strategy, right? To target people, more business affluent people that would be on LinkedIn. Now, with that, there also comes on LinkedIn are attorneys and doctors and nurses, right? And so it's not all just only business owners. I don't want you guys to take that the wrong way. But I think you have to advertise where your customers are. And then again, at the end of the day, nothing replaces pulling this thing out and shooting content, given that behind the scenes. I think what's going to happen, I talked about this a little bit last month, but I'll reiterate because it's so important. The social media platforms have changed. If you guys don't know this, when they started out, when Zuck started Facebook, even Tom started MySpace, it was built to be a social platform, meaning a social graph, meaning like who are your friends, who are your families, who are your relatives, like who are people you went to school with, who are people you work with, colleagues, right? It was these social graphs of people that it when you would make content, it would show it to those people. If they engaged with it, it would then show it to more people, right? And the more engaging your content was, the more people that got to see it. Then came this little platform you guys have probably heard of called TikTok. And TikTok changed the game because they now went off of an interest graph, meaning that you guys will see content based on your interest, not based solely on who you follow or who's following you. Okay. So that was the big change that happened with TikTok. And that was when social media really kind of took a shift. And it's when TikTok started siphoning users from the meta platforms, which is Facebook and Instagram, because they knew that, like, hey, this will keep people locked in for longer. So you're seeing that now. If you notice, your Facebook news feed is a little different than it used to be probably a year ago. I'm starting to see pages like Rad Dad. I'm like, I don't follow this guy, but I watch this video because it's like about being a dad, and I'm a dad now, right? You guys probably, if you're a gardener, right, you're seeing stuff about gardening. If you enjoy my man Kevin Span, is a huge Knicks fan. Like he probably gets served up New York Knicks content. And so, why does this matter? It matters because your follower count doesn't matter as much anymore, which is really, really good if you're in a boring business like insurance, annuities, attorneys,
Yeah.
right? And so it's like, it doesn't matter as much because now you can have content that will hit if it is interesting. So if you put out content, and Nick Saka does a great job of this, I give him a shout out almost every single month. Nick, you need to pay me, bro. I'm joking. He puts out content that's kind of cringe, right? A little like race baitish a little bit sometimes. Like there are some very like he's very on the edge, but like that's what it takes to break through and have this viral content. Um, yeah, Raina says insurance is not boring. Yeah, you guys wish. Now, I'll give you guys a strategy I talked about with Raina in her coaching call. She had a one-on-one coaching call with me. I guess that was last week, probably a week before ago. Her dad has been in insurance for a really long time, like decades, right? And so I told her a really cool strategy would be like a way back Wednesday. He's still in the office with her. So on Wednesdays, it'd be cool to do like a way back Wednesday, 45 years. There you go. Wow. Multiple decades. So she could do like a way back Wednesday where she could pull her phone up and she could be like, hey guys, what's up? It's Raina, your local Allstate agent, and I just want to let you know it's Wednesday, so we're doing another way back Wednesday with my dad. All right, and then cut into something that he's got. Like, can you imagine the stories this guy has in his head of 45 years of seeing claims? Holy shit! Right, it's like endless content, and then there's a double whammy that comes along with it. And this is like, I told Raina this, like I would do it more for this than it would be for the social media content. You're building a library of videos of you and your dad, right? You're building content of you and a family member that will be there forever. One of the videos, it's hidden on YouTube. Not hidden, it's just unlisted, so you can't see it. But my family members all have links to it. Brendan Burchard has this like 30 questions. I think it's 30 or 35 questions that he says that everybody should ask their parents before they pass away. Um, he was at an event. He was speaking. He got a call in the middle of the like multi-day event that his dad had been diagnosed with. I think it was cancer or leukemia. I think those are one of the same. But he was like, "Oh my gosh, like Dad, I'll come to you." He's like, "No, no, no, finish your conference. Like I'll be fine. Come see me afterwards." So Brendan, on the flight out to see his dad, was like writing down all these questions he wanted to ask him. How'd you meet mom? How'd you know she was the one? What was it like when you found out you were going to have your first kid? Like, what's the best place, the most exciting place you've ever traveled to, right? And so, like, you guys can just Google it, like Brendan Burchard questions for my dad or something like that. And so I did that with my grandma, right? My parents aren't, my dad will be, he's in his 60s, my mom's in her 50s, but my grandma's like up there in her 70s. And so, like, I sat down with my grandma, set up a camcorder, and just like ask her questions. And like we have that now on YouTube forever. And so my kids, my brother's kids, like it's like almost like a time capsule of Mama that we have. And so there's a really cool thing that happens with like the world that we're in right now. Is like, sure, while we can all get all swept up in technology, we also can still use it for good, right? We can use it to kind of time capsule some things and save them forever. So, insurance, sure, it can be boring. It can be less boring if you take a fun twist on it. So, Rain, I appreciate you commenting in there. Cool, guys. We're at the bottom of the hour. We got about 10 minutes left. I know I've given you guys a ton. Let's do about 10 minutes worth of Q&A. Anybody want to unmute themselves, ask any questions so far, or drop them in the chat so we can do Q&A. This is like my favorite part of the call, so I want to make sure we have plenty of time to do that. Anybody? Come on. There's questions, guys. This is the whole opportunity. This is why you guys show up. You guys get to chat with me. You're like, I got it all figured out, coach. I need no help. I don't even know why I tuned in today. Shout out to Wintrust too, by the way, for the cool little Stanley. Mike Frank, my man, Mike Frank. DJ, is there any AI influencer with instructions on how to leverage for insurance or business in general you would recommend us following or watching? Great question, man. I don't know that there are any AI influencers in this space yet. And so I'll back up a little bit for somebody that's like, what the fuck is an AI influencer? Gary Vee is like super bullish on this. I'm like, maybe, maybe not. Um, an AI influence. So you guys know that there are AI avatars, right? Like you guys have all seen the videos of like, people that aren't real people. They're the challenge with being a content machine is I am limited by like how much content I can actually create, right? Yesterday I did 7 podcasts. I think I did 8 actually. I did 2 and then plus 6 guests. So we did 8 podcasts yesterday. I've been making videos for a really long time. That's about as much as I want to do in a day, right? And I don't know that I could have came back in the next day and done 8 more. Okay, so I'm limited on the capacity of content that I can put out, right? The content I can produce, and then my team can chop it up and they can make so many clips from a long video, et cetera, et cetera. An AI influencer is somebody that gains influence through making content. And what's beautiful about this, maybe not beautiful, we'll see, is that you could take a company like Synthesia show you guys this real quick. Blow your mind. So it's synthesia.io. Um, drop this in the chat for you guys if you want to check this out. This is where I'm headed to. I'm going to log in real quick to my account. And I'll show you guys videos that I've done. So check this out. Desktop 2. Look at this guy right here. Make sure I can share my share sound. Here we go. Oh, wrong screen. There we go.
Hi team. Here is the first ever AI Coach Carroll video. I'm excited for what is to come. Still working on the voice side of things, but this is certainly a powerful tool.
Right? So check that out. That's me, but not really me, kind of me. And so now my team would literally be able to yeah, Mike Frank said that guy doesn't sound like he's from Kentucky. So this is they're still working on the voice side of things, but uh, when it comes to creating influencers, right? Like imagine like if I wanted to make this dude look super cool and hip and was just going to talk about sneakers all day long, right? I could literally ask ChatGPT to write me video scripts about the latest and greatest sneakers reviews or book reviews, right? Like say there's an author out there and you just want to write like tons of reviews about their books. Jodi Picoult, for instance, is one that Tori reads all the time. Right? I could make an AI personality that just does book reviews for Jodi Picoult and would probably get a ton of traffic, right? Get a ton of followers. People would watch it. And so that is an AI influencer. Nick just said, I think he's maybe asking about who talks about AI. Mike, give me some clarity around that. Are you asking like who talks about AI, or um, are you talking more about like an actual influencer? Where I'm kind of going with this. I want to make sure I'm steering you in the right
Yeah,
direction.
yeah, sorry, my chat wasn't very clear. No, is there any one specific you mentioned, go out and watch 5 hours of YouTube content on how to
I'm with you now.
leverage?
Yep.
And is there anyone specific that you find does a better job than most that you could recommend to the group, or just go look for
Yeah.
somebody?
I don't know specific for insurance, but let me go look at my let me pull up my history and I'll give you this guy. He actually just started his channel like 2 years ago. Man, Tori is really rocking with the 90s pop today. Holy smokes. My whole YouTube history is just Britney Spears videos. Um, that's funny. Let me get you guys this dude here, Liam Otley. So this guy here, he's got some really cool stuff. He puts out a ton of content, and a lot of it's like new age stuff. So if you guys want to like learn some ideas, there it is. Um, I don't think I think you're gonna be hard pressed to find somebody that's like just making content around AI for the insurance space. I got some stuff I'm working on. Not really ready to bring it out into the light of day yet, but that guy's a great one that you can use and check out there. Appreciate you, Mike Frank, man. Excited to be working with you again. For you guys that don't know, Mike worked with us way back in the day. Gosh, probably what, Mike, 2017, 2018. Oh, I just realized I sent that message to Nick, not public. Here we go. Everyone in the meeting. There you go, guys. Drop that in the chat for you. Excited to be working with you again, man. Cool. Let's see. Alan says, "Do you mind sharing the prompts you use on ChatGPT for reviewing your team coaching call?" So it's a lot more than a prompt, man. It is a custom GPT that I built, and so we built a knowledge base around it. How I want it to interact with my team, how I give it the website to go learn from. The next iteration is to train it better on our products, so that like we can say, hey, Alan's a standard client or a deluxe client, and here's my call that I had with him, so that it better understands like the products that you guys are subscribed to from us. And so it's more than just like a prompt that I use. Although I think in general, it's It's good enough to give like generalized feedback, like opportunities and whatnot. But the best bet is to like feed it, and maybe I can maybe next month if there's enough interest, I can kind of talk about how to do a custom GPT. It's not super difficult, but it's pretty cool at the same time. So yeah, Alan, it's a little more than a prompt. Um, it's actually building out a custom GPT that then I share to the team and they use. So hopefully that's not too confusing, man. Uh, he says, got it. Thanks. Cool. All right. And then Kristen, right now our IG and Facebook posts are very similar. We post on IG and it shares to Facebook. Yep. Same. I do the same thing. Should we be trying to put different types of content on each platform? Also, any helps on best practices for hashtags? So hashtag should be about the topic that you're covering. So it's less like, I think it should be topics you're covering in that piece of content, and then also like for a lot of you guys, you sell locally, right? So you want to make sure that you're tagging like your city, your state, right? So if somebody searches insurance, I saw Kevin Spann, great client of mine, him and his son are in Texas for Texas Leaders Forum, and they didn't get shaved up before they left, and so like Kevin was going to go to Google and search for a barber. His son's like, no, 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 I'm going to go TikTok and look. And so like he found a TikToker that was a barber that was showing fresh shaves and cleanups, and so like that's where they went to today. And you're going to see that more and more and more. Like what's going to move away from Google. There's going to be this transition, and I think this is where like social media search, I think is not going to get its time. It's going to go from Google social search for a bit, but then it's just going to go straight into AI, right? These AI agents, because not only um, the complexity in which the technology can operate is going to improve greatly in the coming years, coming months. It's not going to be find me a barber in Louisville, Kentucky. It's going to be find me a barber shop in Louisville, Kentucky that is highly rated and can fit me in on Thursday at 11 a.m. Right? And then that AI, probably going to be some type of an agent, is going to go out. It's going to call multiple barber shops. It's going to check for availability. It's going to book you into one. And then it'll come back and be like, hey, I got you booked. It's on your calendar. Here's the date and the time and the address. Right? That's coming, guys. And like that, I think that sounds so insane. Like I'm talking that's probably going to happen by the end of this year. Like these agents, like it's nuts. It's so crazy. I'll give you guys if you guys want to play around, I'll kind of give you a little mind boggle here. Let me remember what this dev number was. There it is. I'll put this in. If you guys want to call this phone number, a lot of you guys may or may not know this, but my first business was mowing grass, and then I sold that and transitioned into power washing and window cleaning. This is that's a development phone number for my power washing and window cleaning company. We're developing an AI agent on it right now. We're trying to figure out. Nick and I were talking about this the other day of like how deep do we go into this, right? Like, do we start doing this for our clients? Maybe we just give you guys the training and the information on it so that you guys can go build it. We're still playing around with it, but you guys after the call, you can give that phone number a call, and you can talk to Allie that's installed on my phone system for Carroll Media, and that thing is pretty wild. Like there's probably going to be some glitches in there, but again, we do power washing and window cleaning, so you can ask her questions, and it's meant to take inbound phone calls, collect lead information, and send it over to my team for a follow up. So very specific, very niched idea of what it needs to do. But you guys can play around with that and see just how realistic it sounds. Even to the point, I'll give you guys this. You can listen for it. The artificial background noise. So like I intentionally coded in, my team and I intentionally coded in like fake background noise so it sounds like she's in an office or in a call center, so it seems even more realistic. So you guys can give that thing a call after this session's over and kind of play around with it. So let me just make sure. Sarah asked the name. I posted the YouTube, so got that in there. Alan said he's good. Any other final questions, guys, before we wrap up here? Kristen, hopefully that helps you. I didn't really answer your question. I answer the hashtags. Should be trying to put different types of you should be trying to put different types of content out on the platforms, but like it takes a lot of work. And so like I'm okay with you being lazy if you're executing daily, right? So like that's why a lot of the agents, they love either the $97 a month where we just give you 20 pieces of content, or they want to go into the deluxe package from the standard because it comes with that posting 5 days a week, right? Monday through Friday, something's going out. So it's getting impressions. And we've ran, this is one of the things that like Nick is really on top of. Um, you know, a lot of times people say, well, this other company, their content looks cooler or fancier. And like our data shows that it doesn't matter. Like it's about getting the eyeballs. And so like you could have really, really good looking content posted once a week or twice a week. And Nick, check me on this in the chat if I'm wrong here, speaking out of term, or you can even unmute yourself. We can chat about it. But I'm pretty sure like we've ran scenarios where like somebody's left us from 5 days a week posting, went to like 2 days a week posting because it's more on brand to them, or it's more detail, has their city in the background or whatever versus our general content. But because we post 5 days a week, net on the month, we're still getting more impressions on the organic content than the other stuff, right? Put him on the spot. He loves when I do that.
Yeah, you're accurate there. Not going to call any names out, but
Yeah, no, we won't
we've
do
pulled
that.
some clients up, and we might get 35 views on a post 5 days a week. The other one might get 45, but it's only 2 times a week.
Yeah.
So you're just going to outgame them there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just from the frequency. And again, guys, like don't get caught up on small numbers, right? Like this is something that's probably helped me push through making content for so many years. Is like I've just never really gotten caught up on how many Instagram followers I got, or how many YouTube subscribers I've got, or how many views did that last video get. Like I just keep making content that I know is really, really good content. And like, I talk myself up, and and I get feedback. Like every once in a while, there'll be a video on YouTube that gets like 120 views. I get more than that now. Back in the day, they used to get, less than 100 views, but somebody would leave me a comment out of, say it's got 120 views on it. One comment comes through and it's like, dude, why is your channel not blown up? This content is gold. And I'm like, that's what keeps me going, right? And Alex Hermosi recently posted a video where he said, hey, this is a room with 300 people in it. And if you had the chance to talk about your business in front of this room of 300 people, like you'd think that was a pretty big idea. But we get a video that gets 300 views and it's like, right? So like that's why like I mean almost every single one of my Instagram reels now are 200 or 300 views per video that we're putting out. So it's like I'm a couple thousand people a week organically are seeing me now just on one platform. And so it takes kind of grinding it out. It takes time. Sure, every once in a while you hit a home run. But dude, I'd rather win a championship by just batting singles all day, every single day. So again, whole point there, Kristen, don't stress your guys' self out. If you're like, oh my gosh, I got to make better if you guys have the time, if you have the capacity, sure, do it better. But the bigger thing is like get content out every single day. Cool. Maybe we got time for one more, guys, before we wrap up here. Always want to make sure you guys get out of here on time. Any other final questions? It's been a fun call, man. This AI stuff is going to continue to grow, continue to blow it up, continue to change it for you guys. Imagine imagine if you had an AI agent answering the phone at your office. Because listen, a lot of you all, we call you. My team calls you. It's like some terrible voice prompt you got to sit through, and then finally when it's like connect to an agent, the phone rings. It rings 4 or 5 times, and then it goes to the call center at corporate. And you guys are like, my business is down. My business is down. It's like, answer the damn phone. People are calling you. Cool. One last call. Anything? Final questions? Again, you guys can unmute if you don't want to type it out. Nick, anything you want to touch base on before we go? Anything I missed?
Nope. All good over here.
Cool, man. Sweet, guys. All right. Well, hey, I appreciate it. You guys will get the replay out shortly in the Alley app. And if there's ever anything that we can do for you, myself personally or my team, please don't hesitate to reach out. Make sure you join the Facebook group. Nick dropped the link there. We're going to be doing a lot more in that group this year, putting a lot more content out, hosting some Q&As that you guys can hop on, trying to make myself more available for you guys. So as always, we appreciate your guys' business. We appreciate you letting us help you navigate this crazy journey that is being a small business owner in this new world. And until next time, we'll talk to you guys real soon. Here's your success. Hustle, it's worth it.